Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where Guinea forms an empire. If you're wondering why Guinea, basically I have a wheel and today I spun it and it landed on Guinea. This wheel has the name of every country in the world on it, and the country forms an empire and gets stronger and invades their neighbors, you know what I mean? So today, little Guinea Country is going to be forming an empire. So let's just get into this. The first thing that's going to happen in this scenario is Guinea declaring war on Guinea-Bissau, or Guinea Conakry declaring war on Guinea-Bissau. So troops from Guinea cross the border into Guinea-Bissau and start invading the border territories and pushing their border west. They get some high levels of reinforcements and start invading until they start Operation Bissau, where they capture the capital of Guinea-Bissau. Anyway, they keep invading until Guinea-Bissau just decide to surrender. And in this peace treaty, Guinea fully annexes Guinea-Bissau. United Guinea, guys. Next thing that's gonna happen is the invasion of the islands of Cabo Verde. This is an archipelago in the Atlantic west of Africa that was colonized by the Portuguese that recently got its independence, but Guinea are gonna ruin it today. They mobilize their navy, pushing it north and sending it to the archipelago. Once they reach it, they fully surround it and start invading it. They manage to capitulate the archipelago and they meet for peace. And in this peace treaty, they fully annexed Cabo Verde. Next thing that's gonna happen is Guinea declaring war on Sierra Leone. They start projecting their troops into Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leone, little weak neighbor, just fails to survive. They get more and more pushed until 50% of their territory, now it's 75% of their territory is captured. The capital's captured and they capitulate. In this peace treaty, they get fully annexed into Guinea. Next, Guinea declare war on Liberia, get support from Côte d'Ivoire. They start crossing into Liberian territory and they set a boundary with Côte d'Ivoire that this is all they could claim, all of this, and the rest will belong to Côte d'Ivoire. And Côte d'Ivoire starts invading into Liberia, but they get severely pushed back by the Liberian military, and the push looks non-existent except this little bit in the center. They try to push back into Guinea, but Guinea's too strong for that. They have too good of military capacity. So instead of going back west, they decide that they're gonna go east, and they start an invasion into Côte d'Ivoire. I'm sorry the colors look bad in the borders, but it's okay. It looks like this, and they start invading more and more into the coastline, and Côte d'Ivoire is like, what the heck is happening? So they send more and more reinforcements, and they get to push them a little bit back, but they can't do it that well. Anyway, Guinea managed to capture everything west of the line, and they start asking for more, acknowledging this little thingy that they invaded at first, but Côte d'Ivoire still say no. So then they just decide that they're not going to be allies anymore. So Côte d'Ivoire became purple. Don't worry guys, I'm going to fix the colors. One sec. And they tell Guinea. So Guinea start making plans into pushing to the blue side of Liberia. Côte d'Ivoire say no, we're gonna reorganize our military and we're coming, so you better not. Let's just work together in this thing. I know we disagreed now, but Guinea's like, shut up, you don't tell me what to do. And so they start invading blue Liberia, but they stay within the boundary and they accept this thing's existence. Anyway, Liberia abandon their west. They just start another invasion into Côte d'Ivoire's territory, and they're doing really well because they just abandoned the area. They're trying their best to be independent from it, and so this is what's going on right now. Côte d'Ivoire is like, what the hell is going on? But they can't push out because they forgot that Liberia are literally built different. Anyway, this is the size of Sierra Leone. Côte d'Ivoire are now at war with Guinea because they crossed into Liberia, and they're like, okay, since we're at war, they're gonna start invading this little territory that they were acknowledging. because Côte d'Ivoire sent them a formal declaration of war. The rest of Liberia is capitulated and they signed peace with Guinea, and they recognize the state of Liberia's existence. They are formally at war with the rest of Côte d'Ivoire because they only wanted this territory. They might invade the state of Liberia soon, but they just invaded the old state of Liberia. Anyway, Côte d'Ivoire don't care. They don't revoke the war plan. They're like, yes, we are at war and nothing's gonna stop us from invading you. And so Guinea are like, are you guys sure? But since Côte d'Ivoire said that, I mean, Côte d'Ivoire is this country. Côte d'Ivoire. Translated into English, the Ivory Coast, but the Ivory Coast is actually like this whole region is called the Ivory Coast. So like the country of Côte d'Ivoire is this. Anyway, they decide to sign a pact, a defensive pact behind everybody's backs with Liberia, this new state of Liberia, after being at war with them. I don't know how it's working, but let's say they waited a couple months or years, and then once Côte d'Ivoire, after preparing for months, crosses into Liberian territory, Guinea formally declares war on Côte d'Ivoire too. They were already at war, but anyway, they quickly push Côte d'Ivoire out of Liberia and begin their excursion into Côte d'Ivoire. So this is what it looks like. And Liberia start their own little push, but it's actually not little because it's huge, because they're actually built different for some reason. I don't know why I said they're built different, but now they're built different, okay? Anyway, Guinea pushes some more, but Côte d'Ivoire tries to retaliate and push back, but they can't. Liberia, though, are very strategic with their pushes, and they know how to fight real well. They capture the entire coastline of Côte d'Ivoire and even start their beginner's push into the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, Yamoussoukro. Over here, Guinea can capture back what they had and start a deeper and deeper invasion into Côte d'Ivoire, even expanding west and capturing the city of Daloa over here. And Liberia managed to capture the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, Yamoussoukro, as well as the old capital, Abidjan. Anyway, as they lost many men in this war, they can't manage to get anything more, so the rest is swiftly invaded by Guinea. And once Liberia captures some more and more territory, the Côte d'Ivoire are like mad, and they're like, you know what, let's make them turn against each other. We'll surrender only to Guinea. This all goes to Guinea. And so Guinea, Liberia, and Côte d'Ivoire seat up to draw the peace treaty. In this peace treaty, they decide that all of this land gets to be controlled and chosen what to do by the government of Liberia over here. And all of this land, Guinea will control it and choose what happens to it. Guinea proposed a puppet state idea, with this land over here being a puppet state, and they asked if Liberia would like to give their territory in this coast, in their Ivory Coast, because as I've told you guys, this is the Ivory Coast. So they wondered if they would appoint them some territory in the Ivory Coast to form a Côte d'Ivoire puppet state that they will jointly administer as a dominion. Liberia like, no, but you know what, we'll give you this. Liberia are very, very annoying about it, but at the end they end up giving them like this to form the puppet state. And Guinea are like, that's not fair. You're gonna be able to administer all of this, and I'm gonna administer all of this. Like, hello, that's nothing. And they're like, but the coast is worth more. So they're fighting about it, and they end up going to the UN. They're like, if the UN vote for me to give a bit more territory, then I will. The UN ends up voting on giving this, and this to the puppet state, and Liberia like, oh hell no, but they actually put it up up for vote. And so countries are like, we won't respect you if you don't give this to Cote d'Ivoire, because they start supporting it. So Liberia is kind of forced into it. So this puppet state, it's kind of forced into being a puppet state, like from these areas here, because Liberia didn't want to give it to them. So they kind of like start hating Liberia and liking Guinea more, until Liberia just start imposing a tax with a higher tax for the people over here that also voted to leave and to become part of the puppet state. And the people from the puppet state are like, what the hell is wrong with these people? So people from there are like super mad, and they don't like Liberia. When Liberia starts imposing a tax on everything else, then it gets crazy. The puppet state of Cote d'Ivoire are like, yo, Guinea, there's Liberia over there is imposing us with tax. We want independence from them. Maybe not from you, but from them. We don't want them anymore. So Guinea completely agree, and they're like, fine. So they start an uprising against Liberia, who decide to impose an even bigger tax on the citizens of the West area. Can I call it a West Bank? No, it's giving this. Anyways, puppet state troops start invading into Liberia in masses, as everybody is mad at them. Therefore supplied by Guinea over there. And then they're like, Guinea, this is all your fault. We're gonna start invading you too. So Guinea just wakes up to a massive surprise attack into their territory. So they're like, oh hell no, we at war with you, baby. So they push them all back, declare war on Liberia, and start invading as well. The horde of Cote d'Ivoire troops start invading more and more and more into Liberia. They literally just got destroyed by Liberia and Guinea. So this story is pretty crazy, and they push more and more and more into it, and Guinea just barely goes through because they don't know the territory as well as they do over there. So the rest just surrenders to both. In this peace treaty, both countries decide to impose a parallel to follow, and they'll work things out based on this parallel. But we know what country's stronger, huh? They did all the work on this. So at first, they decide to settle with this border over here, but then a couple towns got cut into two, and cities and villages, and the country wanted more of a river and stuff. So it turns out like this. And this is what the weird things looking like. Anyways, just to show off their power a bit more, they decide to like ruin Senegal. Yes, they move over to Senegal, and they're like, yeah, so we're gonna need all of this for us, thank you. And Senegal are like, excuse me? They say, yeah, from next week at 5 p.m, so in 7 days, this land is ours, so please evacuate everything you need, and I'll see you in 7 days. Senegal are like, or what? Guinea are like, how dare you say, oh, or what? Or what? Or there's a war. It's that or a war. So to avoid a war with the strongest power in the region for like as of this timeline, they just decide to say fine and evacuate anything important from this area, and telling the people, so you're not going to be Senegalese anymore unless you would like to move north of this parallel. So sorry, this is what happened. And last thing, they're going to declare war on the Gambia. Like, just because they want to, you know. And troops just steamrolled the Gambia, cutting it into two, capturing the coastline, destroying it, capturing the capital. The Gambia surrenders. And in the peace treaty, they're just fully annexed into Guinea. Now, let's put the flag on this thing. But before, let's compare it to other territories. Look at it compared to freaking Europe. It's bigger than the Balkans all united. It's bigger than Central Europe, even France. Even a reverse card. Look at it compared to the United States, South America, not too big. The Middle East, Asia, yeah, basically the size of the Philippines, or like close to Japan. Anyways, let's put a flag on this thing. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.